lift kit's going to give us a little bit more ground clearance, and it's going to give us a bit more aggressive look to the Jeep. Let's get right into it. This is a 2.5-inch lift kit from Quadratec. So we're also going to be replacing the shocks. So before we tear everything apart, I think it's a good idea to just get a baseline. So I need a volunteer. We're going to measure the height of the Jeep to know if the lift kit actually is 2.5 inches. Right? Yeah, try to. So what you want to do is go straight up and down, so it's a very straight measurement. So you're right about there. And then when you make a measurement, you have to get your head down low enough so you can see straight through. So see how it's kind of curved here? Yeah. If you're looking straight on, you can get an accurate measurement. So what do you think it is?
It's like 5.5 inches.
Okay. So this tape measure is a little different because it's for construction. So the top lines measure every foot, and then it kind of starts over. So if you look at the bottom of this tape measure, these are the numbers that continue straight up. See how it goes from 10, 12, 13, 14, 15? So you want to disregard the top numbers, the ones in red, and only use the ones in black. Let's do that again. You might need to come right.
It's like 17.5 inches.
17.5, right? Okay. Does someone remember that? 17.5? Got that? Cool. Because we're going to just loosen the lug nuts, we don't want to take the tire, we don't want to loosen the lug nuts too far. We just want to break them loose, and then once we get the vehicle lifted up, we can take it off the rest of the way. These wheels will have locks on them for security, and you need a special socket. The entire structure of the Jeep has the frame. That's this thing that goes underneath the door all the way from front to rear. We want to right about there is probably the highest we're going to be able to support the Jeep, because if we had a taller jack stand, we would use it on this one. But I think this piece is attached to the frame just as well. This is a solid piece of steel. It's not going to break or bend if we put the weight of the Jeep on it. Slow. Stop. Last time when we worked on the front, we gave the Jeep a shake. Okay, so I'm going to shake it. We can all shake it. And before we take the tires off, we want to make sure if we had an earthquake or someone accidentally bumps into the Jeep, it's not just going to fall off. So let's take our turns grabbing it and making sure that it's stable enough for us to work on it. Because if it's going to fall, we want it to fall now.
Are we
Get these out of the way, and you're going to kind of lift the weight of the tire and pull it at the same time. Good. It'll come right off those studs. Probably lift by the top like you were.
Yeah, better grip.
There you go.
Out of your way. There you go.
And then we're going to put it underneath the Jeep. And then roll it underneath the middle of the Jeep. We're going to push it underneath. Remember, if the Jeep was to fall, it'll fall on the tires. Okay. This spring allows the axle to go up and down. See this giant spring? It's going to compress and decompress as the suspension moves up or down. Right now it's mostly down because the weight of the vehicle is supported by the jack stands. So because we're lifting the back of the vehicle, we're going to be changing some of the components and changing a little bit of the geometry so that this is going to be a little lower down. That gives us more ground clearance. We can go over rocks, we can go over bigger obstacles, bigger hills, that kind of thing. And then imagine how far that bolt goes. It goes pretty deep, so spray from like right there.
Right here?
Yeah, let that stuff fall down in there. And then while you're there, we're going to be removing the shocks too. So you want to get some on here, both sides of that one. on the other. No, well, not exactly. The left wheel can go up, the right wheel can go.
Never fun.
You can tell, I don't know if you can see it, but now I see the whole bolt turning and the nut turning on the other side.
Yeah, I see it.
So stop. If you can put the other wrench, the 18 millimeter, on the nut,
This is the 18?
the socket.
Okay.
So slide that on there, so you're gonna have something on both sides. Now, if that'll just contact the ground, you should be able to turn the one in your left hand, switch hands, and do what you were doing with the ratchet. Yeah. So see how there stops the nut from turning?
Yeah. So you don't want the nut turning.
You don't.
Does that screw up the threading?
It does not screw up the threading, but you'll never get anywhere. You'll never get the bolt off because it needs to unthread from the nut. So see how now it's moving towards you?
Yeah.
You're doing great.
All right, I got her off.
Okay, good job. See how loose the spring is? We'll check the other side. If it can rattle around like that, it means it's no longer under pressure. This one, you can move it, but it's a little bit more pressure on it. So we're going to keep lowering the axle until the springs are free. So just be mindful of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is the tool I use.
The train is so good, but it's so messy.
Am I getting it?
Yeah, no, you're on it. In some. But use this. Just push this
There you
here.
go. Oh, yeah.
And then that's like an added cushion before the axle hits the frame.
So it's not just like metal on metal scraping.
Yeah, that would make a huge clunk if you compressed it so hard
Now it's like
it hit the frame. So now we're going to be a little easier.
Washers that come with it.
there are 3 washers.
Do you want to see?
I think you're okay. I think it started, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so now you just have to use 2 hands, one on this part that pivots, and then cycle it around, just like that, yeah. You lined it up. Now what this is probably gonna do, I brought my own wrench too, but this is gonna beep and it might vibrate, okay? So you're gonna use it just like a regular wrench, but if you feel it beeping and vibrating, that's when you stop.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Here?
Yeah, that's how you stop, okay? So if you guys can find them, you can try to knock them out. So I'm going to shine to the other side. You see how there's this is square.
Yeah. Okay.
And then on the other side, it's
Yeah.
also square.
Do you want to punch it out to make it a hole?
We want to punch it out to make it a slot. No, it's fine. I just want to see you're good. I can. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you're going to be pushing down towards the ground.
So I'm gonna want to pull up first.
Yeah, and then now go ahead and push. Keep going. Yep, keep going.
Oh my god,
Keep going. The original track bar was attached down here at the lower pivot. That's where Pablo took the bolt out. It took a long time. We're gonna put this new track bar up about 2 inches higher. That's about the height of the lift kit. So in order to do that, we're gonna use this new bracket. It's painted black. We're gonna use the original bolt to secure the bracket. And then the track bar is going to go above where it was in the factory. So we need to tighten this bolt and then drill a new hole here. So let's let Pablo or someone else who's interested in putting this bolt back in, get it tightened up, and then we'll drill the hole. Keep it spinning. There you go. Good. There you go.
There you go.
Your glasses are fogging up too.
Yeah.
A little bit of rough metal there. It's almost good. So when you compress the shock, it's called compression. And then there's so these springs are symmetrical, top and bottom. And what we'll do is we'll lower the axle and slip these in. There's no orientation up or right, and the position doesn't matter. So they just have to go inside the purchase.
Okay.
And I'll lower the axle to help with that.
Okay, this is going to be a little harder than I thought.
Yeah, it's longer.
Muscle test.
Yeah. So close.
I might need help.
Okay, let me try to lower it just a little bit more and see if it helps. How
I
about
think
now?
that just did it. That just did it.
Got it?
Beautiful.
That's good. Great.
Woo!
So all these links being disconnected allowed it to drop further down. This would never happen when you're driving. So it's gonna, see how this is captured by the stop? It's gonna come off the lower perch first. So I'm just gonna push down and you're gonna kind of lift up and pull it towards you.
Okay.
Awesome.
Can you fix my phone?
Feel better?
I'm your best.
We caught up on the rear suspension. We have the springs installed, the shocks installed. We're able to get some of those links reattached in the rear. Also brand new bump stops, both front and rear. That is where we're at the rear. The front, we've completely disassembled the front suspension, removed the shocks, removed the springs. We've removed all the suspension links so we can get the axle low enough to put the taller springs back in. So right now, we're just able to, we're almost to the point where we can put the new springs in. That'll be in the next half hour or so. If we get the new springs in, the new front shocks in, then that will be essentially the lift kit for both front and rear. So we're almost caught up. Probably another hour or so of work to get the whole kit finished up. You're so close. If you can just do one big push, I'll step on it one more time.
Whew. All right.
We count of 3.
There we go. Yeah.
Aiden is working on the front left shock, getting that installed. We have the control arm on the front left installed. Having difficulty getting the right control arm back attached on the passenger side. We just have some axle misalignment and we're trying to draw it in closer with some ratcheting strap. I think it'll do the trick, but we're working as fast as we can, trying to get as many people involved in the project as possible. This is a difficult side. Just for the bolt that attaches that.
Sorry, should be on the table with the rest of the pulling?
Okay, gang, another productive day on the Jeep Wrangler. Thank you so much for all your help. You all did fantastic. I only had to turn a few wrenches today. You guys did the majority of the work, which is ideal. And we got the suspension kit mostly in. We still have a few suspension items like the anti-roll bars to connect. So next time we come in, we're gonna just finish wrapping up some of the nuts and bolts stuff, but the hard part is over. The springs are in, the shocks are in, some of the difficult bolts are in, the control arms. We just have the sway bars to attach. That should be relatively easy, you know, fingers crossed. And like we said, we're making progress. Next week we'll have some new project. I don't know if it's the lights or if it's the stereo, but we'll keep diving into the Jeep. Hopefully get the wheels on as well. We're gonna have to jack it up a little higher to get those huge wheels on. But I'm excited. You guys did great today. Thank you for coming, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you everybody for watching. Be sure and hit the like button and subscribe.